What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Cat Life here, bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video, and today we are going to be playing some Sky Striker Crusadias. That's right, we are playing the Sky Striker engine with the Crusadia deck. And you guys know how much I love Sky Strikers, so I thought that this was going to be an appropriate deck that we build eventually. Anyways, what do Crusadias do? Basically, you are able to go ahead and get off the Crusadia Maxx at just one shot. That's pretty much it. Or if you can one shot eventually, you can go into your Mech Knight Crusadia Maxx, which is also not able to be targeted by card effects, and also monster cannot target other monsters for attacks except for this one, which keeps your other Crusadia monsters alive, and then anytime they attack this monster, you gain attack equal to that monster's attack during damage calculation only, right? And then if this link summon card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can shuffle one card on the field into the deck. So this is what this deck does, but we're going for more of the, we're going to OTK you on that first turn. So what are we running? It's simple. We're running 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Maxx's, 2 Ash Blossoms, 2 Crusadia Reclusia, 3 Crusadia Arborias, 2 Crusadia Leonis, 3 Crusadia Dracos, 3 Crusadia Maximus, 2 Radian, the multi-dimensional Kaiju, and then 2 Gadarla, the Mystery Dust Kaiju, and then finally for monsters, 3 Parallel Exceeds. Now for our spells, we're running Raigeki, Harpies, Monster Reborn, Rhoda, 2 Sky Striker Engages, 1 Lightning Storm, 1 Crusadia Revival, 2 Call by the Graves, 1 Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones, 2 Sky Striker Mecha Widows, and then finally the Crusadia Power. Now for our extra deck, we are running number 41 with Baguska, number 60 Gugaras, the Link Spider, the Sky Striker Ace Kagari, 2 Crusadia Maximus, 1 Sky Striker Ace Kaina, 2 Regulix, 1 Spatha, 1 Maskiana, 2 Ecomax, 1 Boral Sword Dragon, and then finally Mech Knight Crusadia Max. Now what does these cards do? Well, it's simple. So when this card is summoned as a link, like attached to the link zone, special summoned, this card can let you go ahead and destroy 1 Crusadia card I control, and then 1 monster that they control. Well, 1 card they control. It doesn't have to be a monster, right? Arboria, what that does is when it is sent to the graveyard, it can protect 1 monster from being destroyed by battle or card effect. That's a Crusadia, and then you just banish it, right? And then we have Leonis. Leonis just allows us to, when it's linked to another monster, you can go ahead and do piercing damage, right? So this allows that. Then you have the Crusadia Draco, which I think is one of the best cards, as this lets you go ahead and bring a card from your graveyard to your hand when it is special summoned to a linked zone to a monster, right? And then you have Maximus, which allows you to do double the damage when you do battle to a monster when it's linked. Okay, so I think these 2 are probably the best ones, honestly, as I really like them. Now for a Kaiju, you know what Kaijus do. You just take their monster, and then you can go ahead and set them up to where you can have your Crusadia monsters point at them, right? And then for Parallel Exceed, what does Parallel Exceed do? Basically, when you summon a monster in your link monster zone, you can use Parallel Exceed to summon out. Parallel Exceed will then go ahead and summon another Parallel Exceed. So now you will have not only 1 monster, but now 3 monsters on the field. But yes, this is what this deck does. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know. Hit the comment like and subscribe button, please and thank you. Cat Life is signing out. See ya. Okay, so we are starting off second, which is perfect because when you're playing Crusadia, guys, you do not want to go first. I am going to go ahead and max seed his Pot of Desires because I want to draw as much cards as I can, and I also want to limit him from being able to do any combo. And it looks like he's going to be playing a Necro Valley. Necro Valley isn't really going to hurt us too much, so I'm okay with that. He does play 2 chicken games, so he gets 2 free draws, so that's +2. And then he gets another plus because he has the upstart. And then I noticed that he is playing Endyman. I believe it's, no, this is mystical. Yeah, no, Endyman. So he goes into his constant play cards here, play cards there. Not really sure why he's playing this with Gravekeeper though. I guess he wanted to limit any type of, you know, like effect that would happen. I don't know. I really have nothing for you. But with him doing this, he's just gonna keep giving us cards, which I'm okay because it allows us to go ahead and combo. So let's see. So first I'm going to actually draw into the Reclusia, and I'm going to go ahead and use Rhoda so we can grab the Arboria. Now I summoned out the Arboria, and the reason I summoned out Arboria first is because when Arboria is in the graveyard, I can protect it from battle or card effects, any Crusadia monster, right? So I got it in the graveyard, I summoned out the Crusadia Magus, then from there I go into the Exceed. So the reason I use Exceed is because he's going to go ahead and negate that, which is what I wanted. And now I can go ahead and grab ourselves the Mobilize. From the Mobilize, I'm going to go ahead and activate the Hornet. The Hornet drones is also going to go ahead and get negated, but I'm now going to go ahead and use our Mecha Widow Acre, which is going to be able to go ahead and negate him. At least I thought, but then I remember he cannot be targeted. So with him not being able to target, he's able to still negate us, but we do negate one card. So after that, I decided it's time to go ahead and use Harpie Feather Duster, as he has no more negates on his field. I destroy his field spell, he summons out the Astrograph Sorcerer, and then after that, I'm going to go into the combo. I summon out True Draco, not True Draco, Crusadia Draco. And then from there, I activate Magus Effect, which allows me to go ahead and draw a card from the deck. And then with Draco, we can grab a card from our graveyard that is a Crusadia monster. I go into the Regulex, and then from Regulex, I summon out the Reclusia. And Regulex allows me to go ahead and get a Revival spell card from the deck, and then I could go into the Equamax. The field spell is going to allow me to not only increase my attack points by 500, but I can attack every card on the field. And then we summon out the Crusadia Maximus, which is going to allow us to inflict any double damage to any card that we attack, as long as no other Crusadia monster can attack that's linked to it. And then the Arboria, like I said, when it's in the graveyard, it protects us right from destruction of card effects. So I am going to go ahead and now go ahead and one punch the Reflection, and that's GG's. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. All right, for this, we are going to be opening up, unfortunately, with 3 Crusadia Maximus. So it does suck, and we happen to be going against a Swordsoul player. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we are diamond rank, right? This was just bound to happen. Anyways, he gets off the Ching Ying, and then he's gonna activate the Long Yuan's effect. I'm not sure why this was what he went with. Maybe this was all he had, but good for us. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and summon out the Crusadia Maximus to go into the Magius. The reason I did that is because I wanted to just get one of them in the graveyard, since Arboria is going to allow us to grab one from the grave. So it's like he never went to the graveyard. Then I summon out the Arboria. We get to draw 1 Crusadia card. I go with the Leonis. From there, I'm going to go into Spatha. The reason I'm going into Spatha is because by going into Spatha here, right, and I put out a Crusadia monster, I can then move any card on the monster zone to any spot I desire. So as you can see, the Swordsoul Supreme is there. I move him there. The reason you want to move him there is because your Ecomax gets attack equal to all the original attack compared to what card it points to. So as you see, he has 3,000 right attack, and we have a 2,000 attack, so we go up by 3,000 just because he points upward. And then if we put a card here and a card here, we get more attack, right? So I put the Leonis there. The Leonis does he does try to effect veil us, but I have Crusadia power, which is going to go ahead and make him immune to any card effect, and he's gonna go ahead and quit Oh man. All right, let's go to another one. Okay, so on this one we are going second. Like I said, guys, you want to go second. Going first is not good with Crusadias at all. But he summons out he plays the toy vendor. I decided I have to go ahead and maxi because we now know he is playing the Frightfur cards, and yeah, he decides to toss out a Foolish Burial, which I don't understand with Frightfurs. Usually you want to use the Foolish Burial to get a toy vendor into the graveyard, but yeah, I guess he opened up with 3 toy vendors. I don't know, and he just ends his turn. I think he really bricked. I think that's what it was. Anyways, we summon out to Reclusia. From Reclusia, we're gonna go into the Magus. From Magus, we're gonna summon out the Reclusia, get to draw a card from the deck. We get ourselves a Draco, and we decide to go into the Regulex. From there, I'm going to summon out the Draco. Draco now is going to grab a card from the graveyard, and unfortunately, because he has no monster on his field, I can't go ahead and OTK this turn, so it does suck. Either way, I decided to go ahead and get us a Crusadia Revival, and then from there, I'm going to go into the Crusadia Ecomax, and I'm going to go ahead and summon out the Arboria, and we're just going to attack for 3,300. So unfortunate, we can't OTK, but I mean, we still have a pretty decent like follow-up hand. So he tosses out his Maxi. I'm guessing he must have just drew that. I don't know. He also had a Ash in his hand. He had to draw something, bro. I don't know why he didn't activate any of these cards, right? So I decided to destroy his toy vendor. I'm not really sure why I destroyed it, to be honest with you. I was still getting used to the Reclusia's effect, and then from there we're just gonna go ahead and link summon into Maschiana, and I'm going to go ahead and attack. Now, unfortunately, because Maschiana is linked, I cannot attack with her, so we were forced to end our turn. He then decides, so now it's time to go ahead and play Buffalo Dog, something he been had. I guess he didn't want it on the field because I would have just one-shotted it. But I decided to use the Maschiana to go ahead and link something into the Abramax. So now with Maschiana, our Abramax cannot be targeted cannot be targeted with card effects, and it also can't be destroyed with card effects thanks to Maschiana. And then on top of that, they can't target any of our other monsters with monster effects either, or battle. So he decides to use Poly. He goes into the Frightfur Cruel. And like I said, this duel was a little weird. I don't really know what this person was doing, but with the Frightfur Cruel, he decides to go ahead and activate its effect twice. He gets to destroy 1 card on the field, and then by destroying 1 card in the field, he can destroy 1 of his cards. He also uses a Fluffle Penguin to draw 2 cards, tosses out the Sight, and then from Sight, he's going to summon out another Cruel, which destroys our field spell, and then he's gonna go into the King of Calamities. So right here, I was like, okay, he's gonna stall us, but he didn't activate its effect, so we just Kaiju him. And then we just go ahead and activate the Hornet, and then from there we activate the Mecha. We're going to now go into another Sky Striker, and he just scoops. I don't know, guys. I don't know. All right, let me get into the last one. Okay, so this is going to be our last one, and obviously, man, we are going to be going to get some try hard, you know. So he is going to start off with the Shaddoll fusion, and you already know what he's going into, bro. He's going into the Winda, and honestly, usually I'd be like, oh god, we got to deal with a Winda, man. But you know what we have? We got the GOAT, we got the Gadarla, the Mystery Dust of Kaiju, so we're just gonna sack him. Anyways, he summons out the Alistair, and then from there he decides to use Fusion Destiny to go into the Phoenix Enforcer. But you know what? I'm still not worried because we do have the Lightning Storm. Anyways, we draw into our Rhoda, and the reason I activate Rhoda first is I wanted to see if he had anything in his hand that can stop us. Then I go into our Lightning Storm, destroy all cards on the field. He does nothing with this. Now, the reason I activated Lightning Storm first instead of going with the Gadarla is because I wanted Gadarla to not only destroyed by his DPE, but I also wanted to make sure that he didn't try anything, right? So Lightning Storm gets rid of his DPE, which will come back next turn. But on top of that, now we can get rid of the window for free. Okay, so now we can do as much special summoning as we want. We're not limited anymore. He does get his Shadow Fusion to come back. That's fine. I decided to go ahead and use our Arboria to go into Crusadia Magus. From Crusadia Magus, I summon out the Peril Exceed. I'm going to activate Magus effect first, then Exceeds. That way I chain block. And then from there, I'm going to grab one card from our deck. And we get to summon out one more Exceed. And I decided to grab our Maximus. From there, I decide it's time to go into the Regulix. Regulix, I then go ahead and summon out the Arboria. We decide to grab ourselves a Crusadia Power. The reason I grabbed Crusadia Power was just in case they had a an effect Veiler and was able to negate any of our effects. So that's why I did that. And then I go into our Equimax. From Equimax, I summon out one Maximus and then one Draco, and I grab ourselves an Arboria. I activate Maximus effect, which is going to allow us to do double damage to a monster. So now this is going to be doubled. And then I decide it's time to go ahead and summon out the Dugares. Now what Dugares does is I can go ahead and get rid of 2 of my overlays, and I can choose one of these things. Skip your next draw phase, draw 2 cards, and then discard 1. Or we can go ahead and special summon 1 monster from our graveyard in defense by skipping our next main phase. But the one I went with was skip the battle phase of your next turn, also double the attack of 1 monster you control until the end of this turn. So as you can see, I was going all out. So I get rid of 2 cards, I doubled our attack, and we're at 15,000, bro. 15,000 attack, and I decided to go ahead and attack for 24,600, and we are able to one punch him to death. But anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Let me know if you like this Crusadia deck. This Crusadia deck is pretty good. As you can see, we're climbing with it in Diamond Rank. So yeah, anyways, if like I said, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and you guys have a fantastic day. See ya.